this segment of AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm your host, Alexis K. Tyler. Hit my cash up, bitch, and make it clap. I am not going to stay long because I don't know all the details yet. But I did a video yesterday and I was talking about what Nipsey and his grandmother was telling me about what Nipsey and his grandmother would tell me about the North Pole uh, and Antarctica. I guess it must have been brewing yesterday. Today, I just saw there was an earthquake on Rat Island, Alluvion Island in Alaska. Where is Alaska? Can I know you all know more of this than me? I'm just starting to learn this and look at maps. Is it on the South Pole side or is it on the North Pole side? Alaska is near the South Pole. Excuse me, that's wrong. Alaska is near the North Pole. The North Pole. There's even a city called North Pole, Alaska. That's in Alaska. You can drive from Alaska to the North Pole. So it's when I look to check it, it shows, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Alaska is on the North Pole side of the equator. It's not on the South Pole side. So that was some of what they were talking about when Grandma Hustle was talking about the problems going on and the shifts and the melting on the North Pole. Also, Russia. There was an earthquake in Russia, Mexico, Canada, Japan. I'm trying to remember all the places that have come up today with based on the names that I told you and what I saw, the countries, the states I mentioned, California. Also, I'm going to start looking, and it was an island. I don't think it was Fiji. It's something like that. And what I kept telling y'all is going to be a chain reaction in the islands, all the islands, including California and Hawaii. And then I mentioned countries where I saw upheaval and problems. And now I'm seeing there was an earthquake in Russia and Japan. We already had them in China. Probably they're going to come again, and in California and in Mexico, as well as Canada. I don't know if any of you all visit Alaska, if you live in Alaska, or which parts are there different parts of Alaska that are safer than the other, but you need to watch yourself near the North Pole, in the North Pole and Alaska. Um, Thank you. And didn't I say North Pole yesterday? And I didn't know I wasn't looking at it. I should have just looked at a map when Grandma said North Pole to see all of the cities that are in the North Pole or close to the North Pole. I'm going to do it today because that just really, really blew my mind. That it's like where she said it was, but it's also trickling down because you know Alaska is with a part of the United States. Or is there some parts of Alaska part of the United States? And so I have to get the maps. I have to look at this stuff. It's quite interesting. And plus, these are things I need to know and to tell you because under the Earth's crust, as well as remember I told you to watch the federal park with the earthquakes and the volcanoes and the underground cities and the underground geysers and the underground volcanoes and the underground water and lakes and hot geysers that you don't know about. And look at Yellowstone because it's going to be big upheaval moving into 2023. More of it and catastrophes dealing with earthquake, volcano, and water, along with the other catastrophes I've been mentioning for the past 3 years, and some of them I went into yesterday that are man-made to deal with population control, even with clothing and food. You know, I can't believe it. I tried to order some food and flowers yesterday. Um, because I have something I'm going to show you. And I love giving Nipsey flowers. I want them there. Do you know yesterday, well, last night, even like a couple of hours ago, I couldn't get the food I wanted today. I couldn't get the food last night. I couldn't get the food yesterday. Why? Because it's not in stock. Like so much food at Walmart is out of stock. Now, I'm sure if I go Publix or somewhere else, they'll have it. But Walmart has never had that problem. Maybe something's out for a day because the trucks haven't arrived, the shipment 3 days. I've been trying to get it for 3 days. Like basic shit like collard, because I love collard greens. I love kale. I cannot go a day without them. It's a part of my everyday food. And I love to juice it. That even basic stuff like saline spray, um basic stuff like nothing exotic or hard to get. They're out, at least online. I don't know if they're out in the physical store, but this shit is fucking wild. It's really, really crazy. You said another food plant went on fire, but though they're deliberately putting them on fire. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why you need to go to a farm. If you don't live on one, if you cannot create one, you need to start being close to where they are to get your meats, and a kosher farm, to get your things, or learn to hunt while you can and slaughter them before all the animals are extinct. And then a lot of meat is becoming unavailable, and they're making meat. I think China was working on some experiment making it out of human waste, and artificial meat, like this 3D printer meat, which you don't know what that's going to do to your body. Y'all better, people that are not listening, that's fine. I can't worry about them. The ones that do, and get out of the city, outside of the city, and start watching areas where there's upheaval under the ground, like some of the places I mentioned. Because I gotta look, see what else she has to say. Um, about the North Pole, so I will know in the cities in the North Pole, north side of the equator. But then I'm still going to look at the South just to see if she has anything to say about over there. It's just like, I cannot believe that this happened in the North Pole within 24 hours of me saying it. I heard saying it, but then going into Alaska. And I wonder, are there military bases there in Alaska? Do any military live there? Any government facilities, United States government facilities? I wonder what type of work they do in Alaska. I've heard what they do in Antarctica, and you can't visit every part of Antarctica. I just don't know what side of what parts of it. I have to study. But Antarctica, I don't think is in the North Pole. That's not on the same side. That's like on the other side. So I'm not sure if that's more near the South. So I will have to see, because every time I look at it, every time someone takes me over there or an entity takes me over there, they always show me the underground things that people don't know that's there. But there clearly is some other type of activity uh, going on. You said Walmart trying to inflate price. No, it's not just that. I understand they have to because of what's going on. But what I'm saying is stuff gone. It's like it's. I could not believe so much stuff was gone and out of stock. Uh, hey, food chill. Jobs brought a majority of farmland here. Ooh, well, you know what they're gonna do. I don't know who Jobs is, but you have to be careful because whatever land they own, they're gonna put the GMO seeds and food. Thank you, one lucky lady. So okay, they're in Alaska. Yeah, we don't know what's going on up there. We don't know what they're doing. Thank you, Big Mar. Well, harp is not just in Alaska. Harp is here. That's how a lot of and then they have where they seed clouds, a process for seeding clouds to make artificial rain and fill them up with water. So harp has been here, and harp could have had something to do with Hurricane Katrina or the different tornadoes and storms, the water storms. So I got to get back to work because I'm picking up and getting rid of a lot of junk in here, and moving stuff is so much because it's for so long I wasn't able to get up and walk and move around. Literally, it's most of the stuff. It's not junk like trash. It's clothes. It's shoes, books. Ugh. I have to get up and pack it up. I have somebody come and help me so that I can take it out of the house and move space. So it's not like that around my house, like no food or anything like that. It's I've stored things for so long and clothes and shoes of mine and my son's. And I'm like, I guess my grandmother, she would keep everything. And I have magazines that are like 15, 20 years old. I have books that are older than me. And I like to collect them. Ever since my son was little, I didn't know how I was going to get to study them, but I have more books than clothes and shoes. That's what you'll find in my house. I have more books than anything that I haven't even gotten to read yet. Luckily, my life is slowed down now for the better, that I can become more stable and I can study, study, study. Because whenever I deal with Nipsey and I deal with his grandmother, they have been here the longest. Even my father, it's always about practice makes perfect. My father is a taskmaster, and his mom, which is my grandma, Eliza, the same way. But this is a second group with Nipsey and his grandmother. Everything has to be studied and verified and detailed. And they tell me this is why you need to look here, you need to look there. I think it's fascinating. I think it's amazing. And luckily, I have books in these areas where they tell me I have to look in. So again, I can't stay long. I don't have a lot to tell you about this right now. I just had to mention it because I thought it was so fascinating, um, that I say this, and this is the North Pole, and this is going to be happening. Something already is wrong, and stuff is shifting and melting there. And then the next day, it's a big earthquake in Alaska. I forgot what city they said it. Was it Rat, Rat City or Alluvian Island? I think Alluvian Island. I'm going to put it here, and that's on the North Pole side, not the South Pole side. And I was just looking it up to try to see, was that near there? Like, was I getting the right place? Because I didn't finish it yesterday. I said, okay, I guess this is not interesting to people. I guess this is not interesting to people. It's like they're not donating, they're not saying anything. But I saw people have gone back to watch it and they are talking and they are commenting. You know, I always love it when you comment to me and you share things to me that I don't know to confirm things, and you talk to each other under the videos. That helps the videos get more visibility. That helps the video when you click like, when you click share, when you talk. I think that helps to get the video visual because there's a lot of activity there. Also, like I'm saying it again, I keep seeing a rain issue, a water issue for the United States. There are going to be a lot of things associated with rain, with water, rather, water. If it's not rain, if it's ice, that's still water. If it's snow, it's still water. If it's ice, it's still water. Black ice in certain areas is going to shift to dark to clear, so you can't see it. Black ice. And I just saw an entity associated with it. All of the elements have entities associated with them, just like the season, spring, summer, winter, fall, have entities and spirits associated with them and types of weather. But it's going to shift really, really bad as we're moving into the first 3 months of the year. So if you're in one of those areas, you better get ready now. You better stock up. You better get your right clothes, your right coats and socks, especially for the babies if they have to go outside to go to school. Because all types of crazy catastrophe. I still see the fire and the bombs, the explosions. And the lady just said they're still burning the food plants. If you don't have those, you have no jobs. And if you don't have those, you don't have the animals to be processed, which tells me, are you getting rid of the animals to be processed? Because a lot of farmers are having to slaughter their animals. And there are laws in certain states and areas that are making them slaughter their animals to create a food shortage and a food crisis, as well as the jobs and the truckers and the shipments to the ports. So what you're seeing is not just an end days prophecy. It's a carefully orchestrated plan that has been in place for years to bring about the New World Order system, to make you so desperate to eat and to have a place to live and to drink and feed your babies that you will take the code, that you will do what Elon Musk wants you to do and become half robot, half man and machine. So you can basically eliminate the human population and you cannot have a healthy sexual relationship. You will basically get what? Implants, implanted eggs, fertilized eggs, designer babies, cloned babies. And you know as well as I know, in the black community, most of the men are dead or gay or bisexual or sick. You all need to watch it. I think somebody sent me an email confirming what I said about in Atlanta, and I'm sure it's in the other major black cities as well. The CDC has confirmed the sexually transmitted diseases have gotten very, very high right now in 2022. They're going to be high, and you will see babies dying, and you will see babies in the hospital from really bad upper respiratory infections with thick mucus in them. And what I'm saying, some of these babies you don't realize have other diseases. They have COVID, they've been exposed to COVID, they've been exposed to different viruses, like HIV, AIDS. Some of these babies are born with it, will not survive any opportunistic infections that hit them really bad. And it's just new strains of viruses that they're not telling us about. You inhale them, and a child that young doesn't even have a strong immune system developed yet, as well as what you're feeding them, what you're not feeding them, and what's in the environment, air, the air quality, smoking, drugging, the debris gets in the air. Roaches release debris and diseases, rats do. Dogs, cats, especially if you let them go out and be around other people and depending on what you're feeding them. All these things will accumulate and make these upper respiratory and lower respiratory viruses worse. And a lot of these children will not survive. And if they're giving them, I don't know if a baby can get a flu shot or any other type of shot. Some children will get sicker, even just like some adults. My grandmother told me that she got a flu shot once in her life, and she said it made her so sick she thought she was dying. She never took another one. So they can still make it. I guess it depends on the antibodies from it and how they mix with your body or don't mix, or your body rejects them. You can get very, very ill. A lot of these children will be very ill, and a lot of them are not going to make it, along with a lot of adults. I see in Atlanta, this is a bad problem, and they're probably not really discussing it. I saw it on the news yesterday in Atlanta. They mentioned it a little bit. It's on the rise with this RSV, upper respiratory thing. They're not telling you they're secretly having a problem controlling one of the strains. And a lot of people are you know what? Somebody tell me, I don't know if this is a lady, a biological lady, or a transsexual Tookie Cookie or Cookie Tookie, something like that. Because I remember a few years ago, she attacked T.S. Madison, and they both got into this fight. But I think that it was Cookie Tookie going after T.S. Madison. I don't think T.S. Madison started it. You can see the videos, and that's what it reminds me of. About a week or two ago, Cookie Tookie was doing videos saying goodbye because they were getting ready to die. And Cookie Tookie was at the hospital and said that she had really bad swelling in the legs and feet and couldn't walk and could not barely breathe. And they were saying goodbye, I think, to their friends and other people. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? I happened to run across this. I don't think anybody showed it to me. So you definitely talk about that on your live, on your last live. I know, Rita M. Isn't that fun? So Cookie Tookie, that was the person that physically died. She passed away and the funeral was canceled. So what did they do with the body? Oh my God, that's disgusting. So I wonder whether they do get a pauper's burial or cremate. You said I just saw a post that the funeral was canceled about 10 minutes ago. Thank you. Okay, so the body's still above ground. Now that's something I was thinking about. Oh, excuse me. I was thinking about doing a reading on that because I think they said Cookie Tookie was also a comedian, a funny person, and loved by a lot of people, very popular person. Um, I'm seeing in the spirit. She always complained about, oh, implants. What type of implants? No name. So was it liquid and they couldn't get all the implants out? Yes, that will poison you, make you sick if you don't get it out, if it's causing an issue. But also, I'm seeing an upper respiratory problem. Did anybody on drug? Oh, really? Do you know what kind of drugs? Because I'm seeing an upper respiratory problem and I'm seeing a virus. Uh, the chest and lungs, like the lungs, the upper respiratory part, the lower part of the respiratory, and inside of the air sacs, inside of the bronchial tubes. Looking there, looking at the brain, the spinal cord, inflammation there, going all the way down. I really think that there were other things that Cookie Tookie probably did not tell because I'm seeing a virus. No, I'm not just seeing implants. The implants are a problem. Somebody just said she said implants were a problem. But I'm also telling you, I'm seeing a virus present, a disease that did not come from implants. This is what she got from a man. This is what I'm seeing. And I'm wondering what other type of medications or was Cookie Tookie on prep? Because I'm seeing the virus in the spirit. That's what I'm seeing. Along, and I'm seeing this invaded the lungs, the heart, the lungs. It was all over the central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord, and a lot of inflammation in the central nervous system and brain, uh, along with the swelling and the toxic, the poison from the silicone, like that, or if that's what they gave her. When you're getting shot up, you don't know what it is. So it was a combination of things as well as sex partners. I'm seeing a couple of viruses there. Somebody says also was a streetwalker. Really? See, I don't know. I never followed him. I'm just seeing it now. And the streetwalker disrespect. Oh, you said no disrespect. She talking about all this. I don't know. I wouldn't know. So thank you for filling me in. It would make sense. It would make sense while I'm seeing it because the autoimmune implant thing is not just it. This was somebody she got. This is something she got from me in a sexually transmitted disease, a virus. I actually see two viruses here, and they have been there for a while. And I don't judge it because I know people have to do what they have to do to survive. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about prostitution itself. I have no reason to do that. I understand. So I'm not condemning that part of the lifestyle. I'm just saying that uh, we're talking about the actor and the yeah, I'm gonna go too because it's getting late, and my assistant told me nobody donated, so this must not be that interesting and informative to you. So I'm not gonna stay here long, but that had been on my mind, Cookie Tookie, since I saw Cookie Tookie's death, and I saw the videos where Cookie Tookie said they were getting ready to take their last breath. They were dying in a couple of days from the video. They want to document it. That's where I saw it, and I saw the difficulty. I heard the difficulty breathing and damage to the lungs and the fluid infiltrating the lungs and whatever that was and the implants. I wonder, was that straight silicone? And Cookie Tookie is definitely a strong person to endure that so long and so much abuse. I don't know if Cookie Tookie discussed the abuse and disrespect and a lot of the pain, endure so much. Incredibly strong person from what this person just said here. Said she was having LGBT community, and I was support her when she was going to get help. She would always leave the facilities and go back to it. What type of drugs was it? And I'm sure there was a reason why she took the drugs. Do you know what her childhood like life clearly just hard dealing with that life and dealing with men in the street and the sneaky shit they do and the abuse and living in denial and then doing what you can to look like a woman and be accepted and appear as a woman and dealing with the dangerous, back alley injections that you're saying she had and had to deal with. So I was just tapping into the energy. It's been on my mind a couple of weeks now since I don't know how, I think it just popped up and I watched it. And I saw videos of people talking about it. And when women were talking about it, very upset. And I looked and I said, there is a hidden agenda that Cookie, Tookie, and so many other people that participate in sex. And it's not just like loose random sex or prostitution. And that virus is moving through there. And so if you're sleeping with someone that's taking meds, you're actually also getting a dose of the meds, as well as the public water supplies. You need to check the water supplies where you live to see what you're drinking. Because people that take it use the bathroom. And it goes right into the water supply. And they recycle it and you drink it like everybody else, if that's what you're depending on. So what you're seeing, and when these people that have that lifestyle, I don't care when I say these people, I mean anybody that likes to do promiscuous lifestyle or prostitute to survive, male or female, gay or straight bi, that's what I mean. Anybody that's human. Start looking for it. If they're not telling you, it's going to start coming up more, and they're passing it to their babies and their children whoever's around them and trying to hide it at the same time. You're going to see more of these upper respiratory, lower respiratory related deaths. Really bad infections that cannot be treated because that's not the source of it. That's a side effect of the lifestyle and catching these viruses, these STDs that are not treated and that are not cured, and they're constantly spreading and that they're mutating and creating super strains. What's funny that I said that Deetra Morgan was part is funny. Oh yeah, you just don't know it. And if it's pneumonia, as I said, usually the pneumonia in this case I'm seeing came from a viral load, an immunity problem. Implants is a part of it, but the infection is another part of it. And it's all over the brain and the spinal cord and the lower body, all the swelling and inflammation. The inflammation and swelling and the heat and the swelling is a side effect of the toxic poison, like you said, from the implants that are probably burst or that were loose, but also a viral load, a bad viral load that the public doesn't know about because she didn't tell. One or two viruses I see, and this is a side effect. If it's an upper respiratory problem and infection, a lot of times when you see people out here like that, that's a side effect. So y'all need to watch your sex partners very carefully and make everybody get tested. And if you see them constantly having like lung problems, breathing problems, nose problems, constant upper respiratory problems, you need to get an HIV test with them, HIV/AIDS test, herpes, any other type of viral test with them, an upper respiratory infection test that can be very deadly because they're tricking us. And they're not telling you because I'm seeing it, and I do private readings and private cases, and I see it. I've been seeing it, and Nipsey's been telling me it. Where you think it's just pneumonia or cold, and it's deeper. You don't have to believe me. I know what I'm talking about. If you know somebody that's a doctor or nurse, ask them about what I'm saying. And especially black people, so fucking stupid and naive and just want a black man so bad and want to suck some black dick and want a black boyfriend and want a black husband. Especially in Atlanta, it's real fucking bad. Y'all get with them because you're so lonely. You got money and education, but you want some black dick. You don't want to date outside of y'all race, and y'all not checking these niggas, these nasty ass niggas down here in Atlanta, and the ones that come into Atlanta from other places, from LA to New York to motherfucking ATL. I mean, a lot of these niggas travel around the world, and they out there sucking dick at Hartfield Jackson Airport in the goddamn men bathroom, man. Anyway, I gotta go. Just want to give you that confirmation.